This is one of the buildings that changed the world. Edison's laboratory that used to be at Menlo Park, New Jersey, but we're no longer in Menlo Park. This is the outskirts of Detroit at the Henry Ford Museum. It's a bunch of houses that are famous throughout history here at Greenfield Village. Let's take a tour through the village and learn more about the history of this place. When did you start using this area?
1927 is when significant development began in Greenfield Village. Henry Ford's vision was to preserve parts of history that were disappearing so fast. He thought it was important that people understand where we came from. He had a lot to do with that, with the introduction of the Model T, which changed the speed of life in this country so dramatically that the early 19th and early 20th century things that Henry Ford knew were disappearing very quickly. So the Village Green recreates the typical New England setting that Henry Ford was striving for. A lot of the collecting and things he did include people of color. The brick school at the corner is a school Henry Ford actually attended, and those buildings are all moved here piece by piece and reassembled. Across the way is a general store that comes to us from Waterford, Michigan, one of the few that was brought in one piece on a truck. Most everything else was dismantled and reassembled here. Eagle Tavern comes from Clinton, Michigan. We do historic immersive dining there. The staff is in period dress, and we do have a character that plays the owner of the tavern, and he treats everybody like they just got off the train. Here in the corner is the George Washington Carver Memorial.
One of America's most prolific inventors.
Yes.
Including America's favorite treat, the peanut butter.
Yes. All right, so this is Maple Lane. There's a variety of different houses from different time periods that Henry Ford collected. A lot of them associated with his youth, but also things that he thought were interesting and important to him. This particular was the home of African-American family by the name of Maddox. From time to time we do a living history there. Cooking presentations are done, gardening, to talk about life during that period in the Jim Crow South. This is Thomas Edison's grandparents' house from Ontario. House on our left is Noah Webster's home from New Haven, Connecticut. While living here, he completed the American Dictionary.
Also, Henry Ford was a gigantic history buff.
And he was very interested in what you would call self-made men, like he considered himself. Didn't have a lot of formal education, like Thomas Edison, go on to achieve very notable and great things. This is a plantation house from southern Maryland, and this was home to near to 70 enslaved people. We do present part of our African-American history program. Henry Ford, he loved England. He would go there for business and pleasure, and especially like the Cotswolds. And when you're the richest man in the world, you can purchase historic buildings in England, have them restored, and have them dismantled and shipped here to this country.
Let me know which house should be added here. Stay curious, my friends.